Hey Los Angeles, we're here today to talk about our La Vigilia menu for 2020. La Vigilia has always been a very special night here at Providence. This is going to be the 16th one that we've put on, but it'll be the first one that we haven't had any guests in the dining room. We've done it every year. We have lots of guests that have come literally every single year. Our families come to dinner, our friends come to dinner that night. And it's a way that we can all sort of like get together and celebrate even while working. And it's become a real tradition for certainly our family here at Providence, but for a lot of other families here in Los Angeles as well. And it makes me a little bit sad that we're not able to have those people in our dining room this year. But we've got the next best thing, which is you can take Providence home and enjoy it in your own house with your family. You'll just have a little bit of work to do to put the meal together, but we hope it'll be as enjoyable as it would have been if you were here joining us in the Providence dining room. So to start off the meal the way we always do here at Providence, we have beautiful Baccala, dried salt crab, of course, finished with lots of garlic oil, potato, cream, and then on top we have truffle, chive, and a little pinch of Espelette pepper. You don't have anything to do here, except maybe if you like, you could warm it up just for a few seconds in the microwave, just to take the chill off of it. Other than that, just put it in a bowl, get yourself a spoon, slather it on the croutons that we gave you, enjoy. It's perfect with champagne. It's a wonderful way to start the meal with a nice crisp glass of champagne. And then after that, we're going to go into the sashimi course, which is right here. We have wild Japanese bori from Toyama Bay in Japan with winter citrus fruits. We've made a dressing also of winter citrus fruits, which some of the citrus that we have here that are in this vinaigrette are blood orange that we preserved way back in 2019 actually. So inside the container you're going to have beautiful Caracara oranges and some tangerines along with a bunch of herbs. Predominantly you'll find like basil, but there's a couple other things as well, calendula and shiso, and of course California capers or nasturtium pods, which is another thing that we preserved last year. We just preserved them with a salt brine, and they're actually California capers are produced by the nasturtium plant. After they flower, then they produce these beautiful little berries which kind of look like capers, and you can preserve them in a brine of salt, which is what we've done, and we're using them to garnish the fish as well. So you'll just sort of arrange these in a bowl just the same way I'm doing here, with the herbs over the top and the citrus on one side, however you like. Just put it into your prettiest china because it is Christmas Eve after all. You're going to finish with just a little touch of sea salt, which we've provided, and then this vinaigrette a little bit over the citrus itself, and then beside the fish. Don't actually put it on the fish unless you want to, but I would prefer to just put it on the side. And then we've given you this cute little squeeze bottle with herb oil, which is a combination of basil and shiso oils. And you're just going to put a few drops around the dish, just like that. You don't need too much. It's got a lot of flavor, and it adds a beautiful little color, and it'll make for a pretty presentation. And that will be the first course. Okay, so for the bread service, which you probably want to heat up after the sashimi course, after you've eaten the sashimi course, Mac and Kathy have made scacciata, which is one of my favorite breads. It's kind of like a cousin to focaccia. It's a bread that's got very, very high moisture content. It's like 100% hydration. Lots of extra virgin olive oil, salt. It has a lovely, like crispy kind of texture. It's very thin, and it's absolutely delicious. So what I suggest you do is just preheat your oven at about 350 degrees. And right around the same time you start with the cannelloni, you're gonna warm the scacciata. And then this is the cannelloni right here, which is filled with a mousseline of scallop and chunks of lobster folded into that mousseline. And then we've given you a couple other items for this dish. You have a couple of chunks of lobster which are sitting on a disc of salted butter, the cannelloni themselves, and some whipped cream to finish the sauce. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So these are going to take about 10 minutes in a 350 degree oven. There's a little olive oil underneath them in the container, and that's it. You don't need to do anything to them other than take the lid off and pop them in the oven. 10 minutes, 350 degrees. They don't need to be too terribly dark brown. A little light color was all they'll get. We've brushed them with a very reduced lobster broth, which has been enriched with an egg yolk, and that will help provide give them a little bit of color. 10 minutes, they'll be ready. About 5 minutes into the heating of the cannelloni, I want you to take the lobster and pop that in the oven too, just to reheat the lobster. And then the whole thing will come together with the sauce, which you can either warm on the stove in a little pan, or you can pop it in the microwave. Either way is fine, as long as you get the sauce hot, it'll be perfect. So I'm gonna go to the oven now. Okay, so now the cannelloni are ready. 10 minutes have passed, they're nice and hot. The lobster is hot, so I'm just gonna pull them both out of the oven. So the cannelloni, I'm just gonna pick them up with a spatula. They'll come right off the bottom of the tray and just pop them right in the center of a plate, just like so. Just like that. Then, I'm gonna take these couple little bits of lobster. You have a piece of the claw. I'm gonna put that right there. I'm gonna put the knuckle right next to it right here. Our chef, Tristan, is heating the sauce on the stove. So you see the sauce, it's nice and hot. And now I'm gonna take this whipped cream. You don't have to use all of it. You don't have to use any of it if you don't want. But this makes the sauce incredibly light and delicious. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, it's cream, more cream. Forget it, it's Christmas. You deserve it. It's been a shitty year. You deserve it. Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. Pop it in there. Just stir it into the sauce just a little bit. You see how it streaks through the sauce like that? And it lightens the sauce, makes the sauce like absolutely magical. Once again, this is the kind of sauce you just want to take a bath in. And then you'll put it around the corners of the cannelloni just like that. And there you go. This is a Christmas dish. This is the Christmas dish that you deserve. That's what this is. It's absolutely beautiful. There we go. There's our cannelloni. So now we come to Kachuko. Kachuko is a wonderful fish stew, Livornese style fish stew. Contains all sorts of things. You know, you'll see variants of it all over the place. Every version you see will probably have different things. For our version, we've got squid, we have mussels, we have manila clams, we have monkfish, and this beautiful broth. What's interesting about Kachuko is that it's made with red wine, which usually with shellfish dishes or finfish dishes, you don't see that much red wine used. But Kachuko specifically, you use red wine and sage. And these are two wonderful flavors that really make this dish what it is. There's also fennel in there, plenty of fennel. And this, everything's cooked. All you gotta do is warm it up in the 350-degree oven. Before you do, maybe you wanna put a little drizzle of olive oil over everything. There's a little bit of broth in the bottom, which you want, and you're gonna take the whole thing, pop it in the oven. So meanwhile, your fish is in, the Kachuko is in the oven, the bread's on the table, the guests are gathered around the table, they're blown away by the cannelloni that they've just enjoyed. And you are just gonna finish the Kachuko very simply. The fish is in the oven, the sauce you can put on the stove, or if you like, you can just pop it in the microwave. That works too. That's all you need to know about that. Okay, so I think our Kachuko is ready now. I'm gonna pull it out. Now, I'm gonna retrieve the broth, which is right here, and nice and hot. And I'm gonna pour these juices into the Kachuko broth. Just stir it in. Just like that. I'm gonna put this dish together while the broth stays hot on the stove. Like I said, if you want, go ahead, do it in the microwave. You're not gonna bother me. We're gonna put the monkfish right in the middle of the plate like that. Mind you, there's a bone, and most of you will have a little bone that runs down the middle of the monkfish, but that's the only bone that you'll find in the monkfish, so don't worry, you can just cut it away and enjoy the fish once you've done that. The monkfish is always best when cooked on the bone, and so we've done that today. They have these beautiful manila clams from Taylor Shellfish Farms up north. I'm just gonna arrange those in a bowl, along with the squid, which we've scored and then poached. And then we've mixed it with just a little bit of an herb oil. That's why it has that green tint, just to give it a little flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this juice right over top of the plate, because that's all delicious stuff. You don't wanna lose any of it. Then I'm gonna take my Kachuko broth and just pour it right over everything, just like that. Maybe save a little bit if you want to dunk your bread in. And then we're going to give you this little container of herbs like bronze fennel and celery leaves and parsley, which the team has been working hard putting it together for you. And you can just distribute these around the dish however you see fit. You could even just turn it upside down and let them tumble onto the plate like that if you want. It's going to be beautiful anyway. Just like that. And then we're going to finish with just a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. We're all done. Here's our Kachuko. Enjoy it with the scacciata. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your friends. Thank you very much. Let's talk about dessert. For dessert tonight, for La Vigilia, we went with something that's pretty traditional. We made a lovely bûche de Noël, or Mac made a lovely bûche de Noël, a little meringue, mushrooms there, a little chervil dust, some cocoa crumb, chervil crumb, meringue mushrooms, and a lovely bûche de Noël, which Mac and Kathy have put together for you. And then along with that, and you don't need to do anything with this, by the way. It's going to come on a little foil pedestal there. You're just going to take it off there. You're going to put it on a plate. You're going to bring it to your guests, and they're going to enjoy it. And then Mac also made this lovely gianduja bomboloni, which, if you remember, was my junior prom date. That was her name, gianduja bomboloni. But this is a beautiful little donut fried, filled with gianduja. Absolutely delicious. So that's how we're going to conclude the La Vigilia for 2020. And you know, the holidays like this are days that we mark with our families. They're benchmarks that provide us with memories for the rest of our lives. Sadly, as I said before, you won't be able to join us here in our dining room to make those memories, but I hope that you make memories at home with your friends, with your loved ones, be they sitting at the table with you or over Zoom, as we've come to do in 2020. But anyway, I wish you the happiest of holidays. Thank you for your continued support, Los Angeles. And we hope to see you soon here at Providence Restaurant. Thank you very much.